Today I messed up by exposing a customer's affair to his wife. Names changed for the sake of the post, so this took place maybe half an hour ago, and to be honest there's still a chance there will be some kickback for this today. I, 25-year-old male, work in a call center, and am doing so for the duration of this pandemic while I wait to find out what's happening about going back to university. It's no career but it's a pretty nice job with some decent people and it's easy. All we do really is facilitate switches for people looking for better deals on household stuff, usually their internet provider or supplier of gas/electricity etc. We have agents in the field who make sales, then call us for verification with the customer. Simple, right? Not today. See, usually it's company policy not to do callbacks. Nobody wants annoying call center calls, right? So unless the customer specifically requests a scheduled callback, we just don't do them. I had a customer 2 days ago looking for a pretty pricey internet switch, going from some basic setup to a full TV/phone/internet package, the works, all the channels, anytime calls to numbers including international, 500 plus Mbps Wi-Fi, and it came to over £100 a month. I informed the customer, who's an impatient-sounding guy, that because of the price increase he'll need to have a quick credit check run on him and it'll mean the call takes a little longer. The guy gets all pissed about being busy and saying he can't waste all afternoon on the phone to some call center, so would it be alright if I called him after the weekend to go through it then? Seems straightforward enough. This is pretty common. People are always up for the sale until they realize they'll need to spend more than one whole minute on the phone, but I scheduled the call anyway and asked if there was a specific time he wanted me to call. He says any time is fine and follows with, if Emily answers, just ask her for me, she'll make sure I get the phone, and gave me a home phone number. Fast forward to today, and I make a grave error. See, I had from the customer his home phone number already filled in, which it turns out was not the same number he'd given me for today's call back. I called the number I thought was correct, and a woman answers. I say without thinking, "Oh hi, I'm calling for Steve to confirm his broadband switch, we spoke the other day?" "You must be Emily." Cue uncomfortable pause. She says this is Steve's wife, Amanda. What do you mean I must be Emily? I apologized, and said I'm so sorry. When I spoke to him the other day he said if an Emily answered to just ask for Steve? And she just goes, "I knew it, I really knew it." And slammed the phone down. After checking the application against the post-it note I jotted some info down on the other day, I realized Steve must have given me the number for where he was going to be today, and I'd instead called his unsuspecting wife at home. Nobody's called into my workplace yet, but if they do I don't think they'll be happy too long. Didn't read. Customer gave me a different number to his own for a callback, and I accidentally called his wife and revealed his infidelity update. Well, angry Steve just called my workplace, and has achieved nothing but making himself look like an ever bigger dipshit than he already has. Also for the record, Steve was always a dick who can die in a hole, and deserves all he gets. The reason for the today I messed up was because I was worried about my job. So I haven't worked here very long, and am still learning things about company policy, and it turns out that when an application is put through by an agent, it must be the application's own details, according to what they provide the agent. So I was only technically allowed to call the wife anyway, not Emily's home number as he gave me. If he'd wanted the call to a different number, he would have had to have a new application submitted with revised details. It wasn't enough to just give me a different number over the phone, so my job is safe, phew. However, my manager isn't happy and I'm getting a write-up, but I can live with that. They don't mean much and I've never had one till now, always on time and have taken overtime voluntarily etc. Anyway, this guy phones up and before saying anything else, leads the call with one of my colleagues, who by the way, is a teenage girl in what I think is her first job. And he says put me on with the little shit who thought it would be funny to call my wife earlier after I explicitly told him not to. Obviously the poor girl was confused, and looked about to ask the room for a manager ASAP. I immediately piped up and said, "Is it Mr. X from insert location /" And she confirmed, so I got her to transfer the call to my desk ASAP. Steve comes on the line and goes, "I bet you think you're well funny, you little prick. Put your manager on the phone and see if you're so smart when you lose your job." So in my most sarcastic, overcompensating cutesy phone voice ever, I just say, "Of course sir, let me just transfer you to someone who can help," then put him on hold for 20 minutes hoping it would wind him up even more while I found my manager and told him about the whole situation. He explained what I'd said above, that I wasn't technically in the wrong from a legal standpoint, and then my poor team leader had to quickly explain to Steve that he didn't have a legal claim but that we're sorry for the distress caused. Sucky, I know, but it's a business after all. And now hopefully Steve's evening culminates in his entire life being ruined. I got a disciplinary write-up for it, but it's over now. Sorry for the wall of text, but thanks for the awards. Update 2. For those wondering about the disciplinary, it was a formality and was the lowest possible level write-up my company can give. It was given as a formality because of disruption to the office. The girl Steve called was upset and it became a whole thing. He argued that I still made a mistake, but that ultimately I am in no trouble over it. He also cited on the write-up that leaving him on hold for so long just to wind him up was spiteful and petty, which, yeah, but Steve deserved it, so it be like that. Update 3, not a continuation of the story. But thanks so much for the /insane/amount of awards. I didn't even know an Argentinian award was a thing. I'm glad this story has given you guys as much joy and faith in karma as it has my colleagues and I today. It spiraled to become the talking point of the whole office today and has been a bit of a scandal. Your support over my write-up is touching, but I won't challenge it. Hopefully before long I'll be on to better things and this will just be a funny memory. This has even somehow birthed its own subreddit? To the creator of Today I Mess Up, a special thanks. Thanks again for so much love, you Reddit bunch are the best.